It's either you or him. I swear. One of you's always late. You were late today. Alberto Del Rio came to the pay-per-view. That was embarrassing.
So I was late. Sue me. At least I don't have a man crush on Cody Rhodes. I mean, first, he has a crush on tennis. And now Cody Rhodes. I mean, you know what? Your idea earlier. I mean, what was that you said?
I said, I think we should start out 2011 Man Crush Watch. You know, and like one day it's just going to, we're here August 10th now. Is Big B going to come out to Cody Rhodes? We'll keep it locked here and we'll see.
I mean, come on. I mean, Cody Rhodes, really, Brandon? I mean, you know what it is, don't you? PWI released their top 100 wrestlers of the year, and Cody Rhodes was like 35th. I mean, obviously,
he's disfigured, right? He's got disfigured. That's his thing.
It could be because he's disfigured. It also could be because he sucks. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, come on. I mean, what's going on here? And I mean, what
do we got going on here?
What is this? What the hell? Really?
Really?
You look like. Oh, come on, put it on.
Because you were home, right?
It's because you were home.
Oh, yeah. You knew this was coming.
Well, he got us again, didn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, well. I guess we'll just do the show now.
And welcome, everyone, to our 10th episode.
We're still here.
Of Triple Threat Talk.
Yeah,
I guess we're doing something right because YouTube hasn't canceled.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Today on the show, we're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about what little of the SummerSlam card we know about.
That's a definite.
But first, and we're going to do by ourselves as we go along today because we got so much stuff to talk about.
Yeah, this has been a pretty big week, and when we get to the topics, you'll see why.
Yeah, and then Postmaster's going to start off with some viewer questions. Guys, keep them coming.
Yeah,
good ones.
Every single week we get more and more questions, and we love it.
We love it.
So
we love it.
See what we got this week.
We do the show for you guys. Like I said, leave us any comments you want. Leave them on our YouTube page. Facebook.com/triplethreattalk.
And before you go into the questions, I have a big announcement to make. This past week, on Facebook, to get an official username on Facebook for a page, you have to have at least 25 fans. And someone liked our page, and that's the 25th fan. So instead of now doing Facebook.com/triplethreattalk/y'all those numbers, all you have to do now is type in Facebook.com/triplethreattalk.
You know what?
Which is awesome.
We should find out who that 25th follower is and give him one of our Triple Threat bottled waters.
Actually, I know who it is.
Bottled water.
I know who it is.
Who was it?
Olivia.
Was it Olivia?
Yeah.
Oh, God bless her. I love that girl.
Well, thank you for
Thank
making
you,
our
Olivia.
Facebook page official.
Yeah.
And like I said, follow us on Twitter,
Trip Threat Talk.
Trip Threat Talk, and leave us an email at yahoo.com, Triple Threat Talk.
Well, Triple Threat Talk at Yahoo.com.
Thank you. But here's the first question I'm going to throw you guys at you.
Questions.
If there was a comeback this year by a certain wrestler, who would you want it to be?
No, me. I mean, I'm unbiased here, but he's asking our personal opinion. Mine's going to be Shawn Michaels. I love it. I mean, Shawn Michaels is amazing. CM Punk has said it. He's the best that there was.
Well, there's no doubt that Michaels is the best.
Yeah, I mean, Michaels is the best. I backed the right horse when he was part of the Rockers in the 80s. I'm backing him now.
Yeah. Now, you know me. Shawn Michaels is my absolute favorite. I wouldn't be sitting at this table, and I wouldn't be doing the show if it wasn't for Shawn Michaels.
Neither would I.
But I really want Shawn Michaels to stay away from wrestling. I want him to retire, enjoy his years, spend time with his kids, spend time with his wife. I want him to enjoy himself. But if there's someone that I wanted to see come back, I'd probably go with Steve.
Nice.
Steve Austin. I mean, it seems like he's getting more and more involved in physical stuff, like with The Miz and stuff like that. It seems like he could go again. Mm-hmm. So I see him facing somebody, hope maybe CM Punk at WrestleMania, or maybe somebody along the line. But I think it'd be awesome to see Steve Austin wrestle one more time.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be good. And Steve Austin is definitely a good pick. Shawn Michaels is definitely a good pick as well. But if I had to guess on a wrestler I would love to see come back, that is like tremendously tough. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are retired. I'll tell you who I want to come back, and the reason why I want him to come back because he's one of the most funniest characters in WWE, and it's a personification of Mick Foley. I would love to see Dude Love come back. I think that would be hilarious. That was one of the funniest characters that Mick Foley had, and so Dude Love coming back.
All right, that's a good one.
Dream WrestleMania matches. What would you say? We'll just throw out one.
Okay, one match. Okay.
we got so many fewer questions to answer.
More stuff to talk about.
I like my top 2 favorite guys of all time. Shawn Michaels, number 1. Number 2, The Ultimate Warrior. I know he did some bad things to the company. I know that, but you can't. I mean, the guy. I don't care what anybody says. The guy could wrestle. You know, he knocked out Honky Tonk Man. I mean, of course it's a storyline and all that stuff, but whenever you see somebody, Honky Tonk Man was a big guy. He was big fame, back in the day. Intercontinental Champion, Ultimate Warrior came in, wiped the floor with him. Yeah, it's a storyline, but whenever you have a storyline like that to show a superstar that big fall down that quickly, that's pretty good. And I would love to see Shawn Michaels and Ultimate Warrior.
I'll say this one, and I know if you think about it, when I say this, you're like, really? They never faced each other ever? No. These two have never faced each other ever, I guess because they were in 2 different eras, and one was leaving, and one was on the rise. I've always wanted to see Shawn Michaels go one-on-one with The Rock. And it perplexes me they never fought, but Michaels was on his way out in the late 90s, and The Rock was just coming in and becoming The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've had altercations in the ring. There's been matches where Triple H fought The Rock, and Shawn Michaels was special guest referee, but they never ever fought. And it just seems like out of all the big names that are in the WWE's history, those two are at the very top of the game.
It's true.
And they've never fought each other. And it's just, they should have, I mean, probably not going to happen, but if I could see one match at WrestleMania, it would definitely be HBK taking on The Rock, for sure.
I had to agree with him. I mean, that would be awesome to see. I mean, HBK versus The Rock, the one match that we should see that we haven't seen. WWE and world title matches at WrestleMania next year. Who would you like to see in those matches? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Tough questions this week, guys.
I think I would like to see, and like I said, it's just because I like the kid. He's number 19 on the PWI list that just came out. I'm going to go with Wade Barrett. Facing whoever the guy is. I think that Wade Barrett's definitely, he's got the push coming. We know. I mean, come on. He keeps on. He's in the spotlight still. I mean, as little as you can be on SmackDown at least. And I think hopefully we'll see Wade Barrett in the title picture very shortly.
Okay. Well, I kind of like to see CM Punk be champion at WrestleMania time because I know people are saying, oh, how about John Cena facing The Rock for the title? But it's like, if The Rock is going to sign a deal where he's there for an extended period of time, then John Cena can face The Rock for the title, maybe give The Rock the title one more time. But if The Rock's going to be there just the one time to fight Cena, then the title shot is pointless.
Right.
So because going in, Cena's going to win. I like to see probably CM Punk with the championship, and maybe a feud builds with him and Chris Jericho. When Jericho decides to come back, because CM Punk's proclaiming he's the best in the world. Who said he was the best in the world way back when? Chris Jericho. He said, and I quote, "I'm the best in the world at what I do." Now CM Punk's proclaiming he's the best in the world, so I like to see those two go at it at WrestleMania.
That's good. That's good. I think along the lines, I think I'd love to see Christian still have the title.
That's wishful thinking.
I know. It's very wishful thinking. But I think a Christian versus Wade Barrett feud would be a very good match to see. And I would also like to see Alberto Del Rio with the title versus CM Punk.
Wow.
I think that would be good.
Interesting.
Good too.
Another question. This one's kind of relating to the first question we had, but I'll go ahead and comment because you was kind enough to leave us a question. If you could pick one wrestler to come out of retirement and wrestle, who would it be? We obviously went over that.
Yeah.
But thank you for that question as well. A little buy or sell here in the viewer questions. Buy or sell Reggie Bush to the Dolphins?
I'm selling that move for the New Orleans. I'm not selling it. I'm buying it for Miami.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a reverse thing.
Right.
You pick up a true rookie in Mark Ingram, who's an amazing talent from Alabama, and then you're just going to stick him in to be your running back? No.
Well, it seems like as soon as the Saints decided, okay, we're going to sign Mark Ingram, Reggie Bush was gone.
Right. And see, that's the thing. You think that maybe you want to try to keep him around for a little bit, show Mark Ingram the ropes. Yeah, he knows a lot, and he's a Heisman Trophy winner, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I think you got to keep someone like that around, show Mark Ingram, hey, this is what you got to do. You have to develop that smart football IQ, and I'm not sure coming in off the bat, first year Mark Ingram's going to have that. He had that in college. Absolutely, 4 years at Alabama playing for the Gridiron is going to do something for you. But I think that that's one thing that you've got to develop is that football IQ in the pros, and that's something some of the great running backs have. Reggie Bush has it, Frank Gore has it, Adrian Peterson has it. These people, you don't just start these things, you develop these things. And I think it's a it's a sell from New Orleans and definite buy for Miami.
This is tough for me. I guess I buy them getting Reggie Bush as a receiver, but I sell him as a running back because it seemed when he played for New Orleans, he wasn't that really great of a running back. It seemed they more went to him as a receiver type of person, and when he catches the ball, he is fast. I mean, guy is ridiculously fast. So if they're going to use him as a three down running back, like using him for every single play, and then bring someone else in to maybe close it out at the end of the drive, I don't know if I see him as that kind of running back because I don't see him going longevity of taking 20, 25 carries per game. He's not that kind of back.
Right.
He's used to take receiving. So I see him as a buy for the Dolphins as a teammate, as a player, but if they use him as a running back, I just don't see him producing that well for them.
I'm buying Reggie Bush to the Dolphins. I mean, I think it's a great pickup for them. I think he still has some gas in the tank. He's still got a little more to show out there. And with the monstrous core of running backs that New Orleans has had the last couple of years, they had like 4, 5, 6 every year for like the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah. I mean, this is a good way for him to showcase his talent and to show, to get a little redemption for losing his Heisman and all that.
Yeah, that was
so. I think it's a buy for the Dolphins. So
there's one thing I did want to point out. We all know that the University of Miami started the smash mouth run game back close to when The Rock played for him, and they've been doing that ever since. It'd be nice to see that kind of return to their pro team, go to the Dolphins. I think Reggie would be a great addition to that.
Going to be an interesting NFL season for sure.
For sure.
So we all know that the WWE Tag Team division has been basically next to nothing recently.
Well, I'll get into that in a minute when you continue where you're going.
But if you could bring back one WWE Tag Team, who would it be?
Wow.
I'm going to say 2. Because, and I think a lot of people were doing it. A lot of people love these 2 guys. I would say the Legion of Doom, which you can't right now,
obviously.
Unfortunately. But I would, of course, we're talking who we'd like to see come back. I'd like to see some form of the Legion of Doom come back, and then also
Heidenreich.
that worked.
Not for me, it didn't.
And then Demolition would be my other one because those guys were.
What I was going to say is that I think the tag team of the future now, I know it doesn't seem like it now, but it seems like they're giving them some kind of push. So it seems like they should be tag team champions very soon. Maybe they're going to fight McGillicuddy and Otunga at SummerSlam. I like the Usos. I think they're obviously the main tag team, the best tag team, because when they were facing the Hart Dynasty, they seems like, okay, you're going to put the Hart Dynasty because they're the tag team now. You're not going to look good. Well, now they look good. They give them like this war dance at the beginning of their entrance. They look good. But getting back to that question, 2 tag teams I'd like to see come back.
They beat Cody Rhodes.
They did.
I heard that. I know. I was there. 2 tag teams I'd like to see come back. I do like your tag team that you picked, because I do like the Legion of Doom, but obviously circumstances can't have to happen. But I kind of agree with that. I'd like to see them come back in some capacity, maybe do something to bring the old school team of Legion of Doom back. The second team I kind of like to see come back is probably Miz and Morrison. I like to see them return as a team again, because it seems like when they were together, they were really good together. And they had the dirt sheet. Everyone really liked them. They kind of went on their own. I know they wanted to push the Miz in a direction. I know they wanted to push Morrison in a direction. But I think as a tag team, they were really good together. I like to see that one more time.
I'll throw out a normal tag team, and then I'll throw out, like you said, like a tag team of 2 guys put together. I think a tag team I would love to see come back would definitely have to be, and this is great, you mentioned them earlier, I think the Rockers. That would be an awesome tag team to come back. I remember as a kid watching the Rockers. They were amazing. Watching them fly around. Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels. That was a great tag team. And another tag team I would love to see come back, not just from a wrestling standpoint, but also from a comedic standpoint. And I know it can happen, but Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
That would be awesome.
DX. Come on.
Yeah.
DX.
He just kicked Stan.
So, moving on here, what do you think of smaller promotions such as OVW and ROH?
I don't have to spend much time on this question because I think they're great for the business.
Yeah.
Where do some of these bigger names come from? Sin Cara came from one, and
because
CM Punk came from one.
Some people might not know is that the local independent wrestling promotion here is OVW. And back in the early 2000s to like 2006, I believe, 2005, they had ties to WWE. Mm-hmm. People will go there and go to WWE. Now they have the ties in Florida, the Florida Championship Wrestling.
Just to name a few OVW alums: John Cena,
Batista. Dave Batista.
The Miz. There was several. I mean, several big Eugene.
Maurice.
We'll
get into her later, too.
There's several big-name wrestlers that have come out of OVW.
And ROH is another one. Actually, I mentioned that this week, and I'm going to an ROH show in Chicago, so I'll get some footage for that, hopefully. And that's going to be good. Jay Lethal's going to be there. World's Greatest Tag Team, Charles and Shelton Benjamin. Should be a great show. But I agree with you. I think those promotions are good for wrestling.
Absolutely.
Obviously, they get people from there to come to the big stages, so obviously they're really good for them.
And I think it's great, like you said. I mean, you got the different promotions. You got the ROHs, you got the OVWs, you got the FCWs. It's all great. It's like the minor leagues in baseball, only it's the minor leagues in wrestling.
Right.
The good guys get promoted. The so-so guys get put down to get some work and move back up. So it's great. I like the smaller promotions. And finally, and I think we're all in agreement on this.
This won't take long.
We all agreed because we all know how much this was. Which WWE title would you love to see brought out of retirement? And we all said
the Hardcore title.
It was pretty good. I mean, 24/7, right?
That was the best one. Was the best.
Awesome.
Fighting Crash Holly inside a Discovery Zone.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. I mean, so we thank you again for all those questions.
Thank you very much.
Keep leaving all your comments and questions. We greatly appreciate it.
We love it.
And with that being said,
Guys, we got some stuff to talk about.
A lot of stuff here.
Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern on the 4-letter network.
ESPN.
Seattle Seahawks.
At the.
Are you ready for some football,
Doctor?
Doctor?
Seattle takes on the San Diego Chargers in San Diego. So, as a Seattle
on the West Coast.
Yeah, as a Seattle Seahawks fan, this is a big thing for me. Seeing how Tavares Jackson looks, seeing how Sidney Rice looks in that offense, and they also got the tight end you mentioned today. Who was
Zach Miller.
So
the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, so it seems like Seattle's going to definitely have to show what offense they have. And also, they're going to show, obviously Tavares Jackson, how he's going to play, but also Charlie Whitehurst, see how he's going to play in the preseason as well. So it's going to be an interesting game. And
it's going to be coming up 8 weeks from now, I'll be 2 months from now, I'll be at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati watching the 49ers and the Bengals. So that'll be
if you lose that game, that's pathetic.
I know, right?
I'm going to attempt to go, and this. If I pull this one off, it's going to be epic. I'm going to attempt to go to back-to-back Colts games this year.
I'm going to look at the schedule of teams that are local, maybe like Tennessee, see if they're playing Seattle sometime. I'll try to find that somewhere. Maybe
I'm sure they are.
And go to that.
Right.
So that's going to
Bengals are playing the West this year. The Bengals.
Okay,
I'm not sure if it'll be at home.
I'll too. And like he was saying, Thursday is the Seahawks and the Chargers. And Friday night on Fox is the Bucs at the Chiefs. So it's some football this week.
Some football.
Finally, we get some football. And on that note with some football, the doctor has some interesting news regarding the Saints.
Yeah, we do. The free agency dash, the 4-letter network ESPN just came out and said that the Saints reportedly won the free agency run. They did pay. They had some great pickups. Jeff Charleston, Allen Kruitz, Tremaine McBride, Alex Barn, and a former 49er, Albrao Franklin, just to name a few.
Good job by them.
Yeah, they definitely won. I know Arizona had over 72 transactions, as the Postmaster said last week. And then the runner-up was named as the Eagles, and third were the Jets. And those were your winners that made the most out of free agency.
And an interesting fact about free agency, a lot of times, and I don't know if you saw this as well, a lot of times the team that wins free agency doesn't win in the playoffs.
That's true. Yeah, because they're still learning to work together as a team. 2 or 3 years from now, a lot of those guys, they signed 4 or 5 year contracts because it's the Saints. They were relevant. They won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, so they're relevant still.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's not going to go away.
And another interesting wow factor, and not to offend the Steeler fans out there, but this also was released the other day, I heard. 7 out of the last 10 Super Bowl losers didn't make the playoffs.
We did.
Colts did.
So did we.
I can't even remember the last time.
Your Warriors are behind you.
But, that's interesting to know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's a guarantee. I'm just throwing the facts out there. He's throwing out different stats.
But they're up against it again. The Steelers are up against it.
That's a heck of a division every year. Every year.
Ravens. Even though I think the Browns are getting better.
And then there's also, you got to think the Steelers. It's widely reported that there's no love lost between a few of those guys. I think it's time.
And the commissioner.
The commissioner.
Right.
You guys just got to. I think it's time for a restructure. Every now and then you do have to shake down a program. As much as it kills me to stay, because I have to stay unbiased. But you guys know personally I despise the Steelers.
I do too, for obvious reasons. Right. If you don't know,
I think one of the things here is though the Steelers. Unfortunately, I've got to say it. They've got a great team going. They've had great history the last few years.
What do you mean last few years? They've had history since they've been there.
Well, come on. I'm talking about great history. You know,
right?
You know, 3 Super Bowl appearances, very pretty much back to back to back.
Right.
And I think that that's going to continue. And of course, it wasn't back to back to back, but 3 Super Bowl appearances in the last 6 years.
4 Super Bowls in the 70s.
Yeah, 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. They've won 2 more since then. Lost 2 since then. And I think that it's just one of those things that. You know, you all have had a great run, but it's time to get some guys in there to work as a team.
Yeah. Before we get into wrestling real quick, I just want to mention one quick thing. For our local fans that are from this area in Louisville, there is actually a tennis tournament in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is the Western and Southern Financial Group Open. Now, this weekend is just like qualifying, so it's players you probably never even heard of or seen. But the main players, like the top 10 players, they're outside in the practice court just practicing hitting serves, hitting balls, whatever, just getting ready for the tournament. So if you want to go there, have a good time, meet some tennis players, get some autographs, definitely check that out this weekend at the Western and Southern Financial Group Open in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Before we even talk about wrestling, we've got a couple more topics to talk about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's jumping ahead here. He's getting excited. He wants to talk some SummerSlam.
Let me ask you what little we know about it. I'll ask you something. Let's do buy or sell on a weird topic. We're going to do buy or sell on a caddy. Buy or sell Steve Williams as Adam Scott's caddy.
Well, I mean, right now I guess buy because I don't know the exact amount, but Adam Scott in 10 matches he played, he made a certain amount of money, and then the one match he had was the 4 things he had with Adam Scott, what's his name, Steve Williams. Mm-hmm. He made more money in those 4.
Right.
So obviously he's doing something right. And obviously, if you didn't see, Steve Williams did kind of go overboard. He mentioned it this morning on Fox Sports that. He said the win with Adam Scott was the greatest of his career, and he said he kind of went overboard. He said he was just frustrated what happened between him and Tiger. But, yeah, buy Steve Williams.
For those of y'all that don't know, Steve Williams is the former caddy of Tiger Woods.
Absolutely.
I am going to sell Steve Williams.
What?
I mean, his conduct, apology or not, was completely out of line. Number one, when do you ever see a caddy get interviewed coming off the 18th green in a golf game?
It's Tiger Woods' caddy.
I mean... It never happens. So, first of all, it's like umpires in baseball. They don't talk.
Unless you throw
ball or strike.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like the unwritten rule. Like, caddies don't talk. You don't see Kenny Perry's caddy talk, and you don't see Phil Mickelson's caddy talk.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I kind of agree with him in that aspect. Name like 5 caddies. I can only name the one.
I mean...
Yeah, but they interview managers in base. You're going to get to finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just saying... A caddy does not need to talk. There's no reason for him to talk.
It was Tiger Woods' caddy.
I mean, no, I'm selling him all the way. It's disrespectful to the golf game the way he acted, and keep your mouth shut next time.
Usually it's you and me versus Big B, pretty much.
Oh, come on.
I'm just about it. Come on. I gotta buy Steve Williams.
Yeah.
If you think about it, let me think about this. Let's think about this. Managers in baseball get interviews all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we see these things. You know, fight promoters carrying their fighters, they get interviewed. It's the same thing. The caddy's on the golf course. He's out there helping Adam Scott make these decisions. Mm-hmm. I don't see why he shouldn't get his interview. Adam Scott didn't care that he took a little bit of the spotlight.
Yeah.
I mean, you won it. It's one of you won the Bridgestone.
Yeah.
You know, you want to go home, spend time with your family. I would love.
I felt bad for Steve Williams the way he was like, "Go call the phone."
But here's the thing: Adam Scott is the name on the trophy, not Steve Williams.
Right.
But the thing is this: Steve Williams gets fired by Tiger Woods, and guess what happens after that? He goes to Adam Scott, who's the reason that Steve Williams got fired, because Tiger Woods did not tell Steve Williams that he did not want to play in the most recent championship. So he decided to, because the first time he asked permission to caddy for Adam Scott, the second time he flew all the way from New Zealand, and Tiger Woods failed to tell him, and that's not even right. Because that's a 27, 28-hour plane ride. You know, he flies all the time. Tell Steve Williams when he gets off the plane, I don't need you, I'm not playing this week. Yeah. Who does that?
Tiger Woods, apparently.
Who is that disrespectful?
Tiger Woods, apparently.
Someone who has helped them earn millions of dollars. That is just plain disrespectful. And then he said, Adam Scott says, hey, I can use you.
Yeah.
And Steve Williams does it. Tiger Williams fires Steve Williams.
Tiger Williams fires Tiger Williams. Really?
Tiger Williams fires Steve Williams. And the fact goes on from there is Adam Scott wins the Bridgestone with Steve Williams as his caddy. That is huge. That is showing maybe all these wins, maybe a little bit of help from Steve Williams.
Yeah. Before we cut into this week in wrestling and obviously SummerSlam, I want to get onto the topic real quick. This past week, Maurice was with The Miz at a courtroom, and Maurice filed a lawsuit against a 61-year-old man. The name escapes me at the moment, but he was basically stalking her. He was leaving her voicemail messages, leaving very suggestive messages on her phone. How he got her number beats me. And the one thing I read is, again, I'm not too positive what he said, but I think he said something like, "I'll come get you and take you to heaven with me." Like, I congratulate Maurice for getting that taken care of and getting that lawsuit taken care of, because that's just ridiculous. I know they're divas, and I know they're gorgeous, and I know they're sexy and all that stuff like that, but you can't act that way.
No,
you have to think before you act. You have to think what your actions are doing to the person you're directing them towards.
It's just despicable. Maurice is out there trying to do her job, do what she's paid for, be with the fans, and all that stuff, and then this pervert comes out of nowhere.
She should be able to go out there, entertain the millions of fans that go there and watch on TV, and not have to worry about some random guy creeping her out. That's just not really...
It's crazy.
It's professional wrestling here. I mean, come on. It's not like... I don't know. I mean, but that's totally out of line. It's unacceptable. I mean, it's pure entertainment. That's all it is. I mean, you're crossing the line here. And I think hats off to Maurice for getting it taken care of.
I'll say one thing to this guy. I don't remember your name at this moment. But she's with The Miz, okay? You don't have a chance with her, okay? So I don't know why you're doing these things.
The Miz!
Yeah, I'm surprised The Miz has a chance with her.
Well, he's with her all the time on the road, so... But you didn't have a shot with her in the first place, so first of all, I don't know how he got her number in the first place. So doing that to somebody and freaking them out is not going to make you liked by them, okay? So think about what you do and just shut up.
All right. I like it.
I like it.
So, moving on, guys. It's SummerSlam week.
Is it?
Apparently 4 matches and a CeeLo Green appearance is going to be SummerSlam.
That's all show for you.
The biggest show of the summer, really?
But a few things I'll cover. SmackDown again. SmackDown's just doing a few things here and there. You know, building again. Christian and Randy Orton, which I'm kind of getting tired of, to be honest with you. And Sheamus is obviously a face now, if you can't tell. He's famous. Fella is a face. And that's pretty much what SmackDown. They're pretty much just building Christian Orton again, and Sheamus and Mark Henry is what's going on over there. And then of course Zack Ryder is on there doing his thing.
Zack Ryder is all over the place.
And Raw is pretty much taken over by CM Punk, John Cena, and Triple H at the moment.
I think lately it's noticed, with the exception of Christian and Randy Orton, I think SmackDown's taking a back seat.
Of course.
And
CM Punk.
I mean, I just think that, you know, SmackDown just needs to become exciting. And let's face it, every time The Undertaker's not on SmackDown, SmackDown's ratings go down. I mean, it's the fact. I mean, Christian and Randy Orton over there, that's why they did that, to make sure that in Undertaker's absence, because we're not going to see him until about 2 months before WrestleMania next
Someone
year.
said he's bald, which kind of worries me.
Kind of weird. But, you know, the fact is, it is what it is. They need to do something to bring SmackDown's ratings up. They figured out a way to make wrestling fun again on Raw.
CM Punk?
Let's do it again for SmackDown. You guys can bring this up.
They gave CM Punk free reign on the microphone, and last night you could so tell.
Yeah. Talking about wrestlers that were recently fired. Actually, we'll mention that real quick. 5 wrestlers were let go.
Melina.
Well, actually, 4 were let go and 1 quit.
Gail Kim quit, right. And I'll say something about that, too, after we get through the people. But Dave Mark Smith, which... When I saw WrestleMania, he's wearing a cowboy hat, so I know what they were going with there. Vladimir Kozlov, which... I
was kind of surprised.
Which his exit was not too pleasing. He got his leg stepped on by Mark Henry, so bye-bye Vladimir Kozlov.
Yeah. I was surprised Chris
Masters, he was on the way up again, but it's not really a big shock, but I was kind of upset to see him.
Definitely mid-card.
And then the one person I was upset to see go was Melina.
Yeah, because we know Morrison and Melina, we know them, and... we definitely want to wish Melina the best, and we do hope to see you again soon. We'll play some poker sometime.
Yeah, I love Melina. She was awesome, and she was very talented, and I know how Morrison feels about her, and I like Morrison too, and just to see her not there, it's kind of sucks for him, you know. And the one thing I mentioned about Gail Kim, before we get into the SummerSlam card, She quits, and then I read on Twitter, Victoria from TNA is like saying, "Ooh, Gail Kim quit. Come to TNA." Why are you being so selfish? She just quit. Leave her be. Like, she's not going to come to TNA. First of all...
And she quit TNA in the first place.
Right. She quit TNA in the first place to come to WWE. Now she quit. She probably wants to just live her life for now. She's engaged to some chef. I don't remember his name at the moment. She's engaged to him. She's getting married this spring. She probably wants to take time off. Why are you badgering her to come to TNA?
I agree.
It's like, leave her be. Let her take a break. So like, she was spamming it on Twitter. Oh, she can come to TNA now. Like, Victoria, don't kid yourself. TNA is not that good in WWE, and you know it. TNA... I tell you right now, if ROH's TV deal somehow coincides with WWE picking it up, TNA is finished. Period.
TNA's done.
So,
Which, speaking of TNA, not that it matters, but
whatever.
for whatever reason,
I talked about it. I ain't gonna go.
Kurt Angle beat Sting for the world title at what is he? I don't even know the name.
Where's
of
the confetti? Yay!
Yay!
Was it Hardcore Country Justice?
I don't know. I think it was Jeff Jarrett's House Volume 2. I don't know.
All right, that's enough of that.
Enough of TNA. Let's get on to a real pay-per-view. So we hope.
I mean, right now, the 4 matches that are in WWE.com officially
Did we even talk about Raw? We didn't talk about Raw.
We did.
Yeah, we mentioned CM Punk and
CM Punk and Cena.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
What do you think's going to happen from that?
We'll get to that. Jesus Christ. Calm down.
Anyway.
Everybody's in an uproar.
You're going to the Arizona, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're going to the Zona.
Anyway, so the 4 matches that are on the card at this point are Christian versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship.
In a no-holds-barred match.
No holds barred, correct. CM Punk, the WWE Champion. Taking on John Cena, the WWE Champion. And now, last night it was made that Triple H is the special guest referee. You also have Sheamus, the fella, versus Mark Henry.
What's with all the signs? What's this?
Who cares? And then also Sheamus versus Mark Henry, and then you have the Women's Championship, Beth Phoenix versus Kelly Kelly. That's all that's on the card at this point.
And we got a CeeLo Green appearance.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
He's gonna sing. He's gonna sing.
How could I forget that?
I mean, yeah.
I think that the Miz not being on the card. I'm gonna steal your thunder because I know it's got you upset too.
Boo!
You cannot. Whoa! Hold on. Wait a minute.
What?
No, the Miz being on the card is completely
not being on the card.
Not being on the card. Thank you. It's completely and utterly ridiculous.
Really?
Well,
yes.
Check this out. We spoke about this earlier, so we kind of know what we're going to say about this. What can you say? I mean, he was just in the title picture, like 2 weeks ago?
He was the main event for WrestleMania, for God's sake.
I was there.
I think something's going on here because check this out. I said this to you on the phone too. You brought that up. I totally agreed with him. He doesn't like the Miz at all, and he's outraged.
Really?
This is kind of some storyline. This is a
really.
Really, you don't.
Really? I know.
So the storyline.
Get out of here now.
I hope this is going to be some kind of storyline because what I'm looking at, heck, we'll know by the end of the show because SmackDown's taping right now.
Right.
I think maybe the Miz might go to SmackDown, maybe stir the pot a little bit, see what he can get. Maybe it's some kind of storyline. The thing that upset me, what upset Postmaster was the Miz not being on here, but the thing that upset me was CM Punk last night on Raw handedly beat Alberto Del Rio, who is Mr. Money in the Bank, and also big into the title picture right now. Yeah. What is up with that storyline? Why are you having these people just get dusted off so easily?
And I mean, he has a good point because you have John Cena face Jack Swagger, which, come on, really? We all knew he was going to win that match. Right. So why not give CM Punk another middle card or lower card squash like John Cena?
Or Kofi Kingston.
Instead of throwing the Money in the Bank winner in there and tarnishing the way he's been built.
I thought Alberto Del Rio was going to win to put him over, but he didn't.
But he did. And CM Punk beat him handedly. Yeah. With the GTS, no outside interference from anybody. I mean, really?
Where was Ricardo Rodriguez in that situation?
I agree.
What's he good for?
I mean, really? I mean, come on. Hopefully, The Miz has a match.
I mean, they have the rest of the week to do something. They can just make matches.
But why are they doing that?
I don't know, but I could see the Miz getting something, and I could see. And the thing is, I gotta agree with you in this aspect. You got people like Del Rio, who's the Money in the Bank champion. Where's his match? You got people like Daniel Bryan, who's the Money in the Bank champion. Where's his match? You got Ezekiel Jackson. Where's his match?
What's going on here? I mean, they've done so much.
The
good
tag team
stuff
titles.
Yeah,
Who
so,
cares
so,
about it?
well, here's what
The thing about it is they've done so much good lately. And then they're just, what are they going to do? They just figure, hey, guys, we nailed Money in the Bank out of the park.
Yeah.
Let's just wing SummerSlam.
Right, but
How can you wing the second biggest pay-per-view of the year?
It's the SummerMania. But what I think is going to happen is I think The Miz is going to get a match. I think Del Rio is going to face maybe like Kofi Kingston or
That's fine.
something match.
But don't wait till the last minute.
Right,
That's
right.
TNA crap.
Right. I think Ezekiel Jackson's probably going to face Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title because they've been feuding back and forth. I think Dolph Ziggler is going to face Alex Riley because they've been feuding a little bit at house shows and on Raw. I think the Usos are going to face Miguel Cuddy and Otunga for the tag team titles. And, you know, they'll build it up, but they need to do it before the week.
Right.
You know.
I mean,
Why are they? I mean, this is Tuesday. As of today, before SmackDown tapings, we still only had 4 matches. That technically only leaves them 1 show.
Well,
And
to fill in some blanks.
blanks.
well, let's get into those 4 matches and predict real quick.
All right. Divas title: Kelly versus Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix.
No explanation why.
I mean, no reason necessary.
Yeah.
Mark Henry versus Sheamus.
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 I want Sheamus to win. I think Sheamus is going to win, but it wouldn't shock me if Henry won. It wouldn't shock me.
This is odd. We are totally agreeing on everything so far. So if we're like wrong,
Well, it happened last time when we went 5-1. So.
that's true. That is true.
Curse Daniel Bryan for making.
But
us not
see,
defeated.
we're also allowed a little bit more leeway this week because we've only got 4 matches.
Well, what we'll do is when matches become when the matches become known on WWE.com, we'll post our picks on our Facebook page.
Triple threat, why not?
Yeah, we'll post them on the page.
That sounds like a good idea. No holds barred. Christian versus Randy Orton for the world
Christian
heavyweight title.
I got to go with Christian on this
Thank
because
you.
I think what they're doing here lately is, you know, they can't just keep back and forthing the title. It's got to stay with somebody for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be really, really disdained if Orton wins because then it's going to be Orton and Christian again. Even if Randy Orton is my favorite wrestler of all time, I still root for Christian. Go somewhere else with this.
Yeah,
thing.
it's got to be done.
Yeah, so obviously I know you're going to pick
Really?
Christian.
Of course. Captain Charisma is my pick.
And then the main event.
CM Punk versus John Cena, champion versus
Versus
champion.
champion.
Triple H, your special guest referee.
If
Who
Triple
do you
H
got?
is really doing what he's saying he's doing, and that's gauging the audience, hell no. Week 1 of this whole championship, yeah, we're going to lift the belts up in the air. CM Punk. Week 2, John Cena. Last night, CM Punk. I think that puts it away a little bit. I think CM Punk is going to win, walk away the undisputed WWE champion.
Yeah, I like CM Punk also. Hopefully, there's no foul play involved with Triple H because you know what happens when there's guest referees. Sometimes they get their hands dirty. But I think CM Punk's going to walk out the undisputed champion at the end after that match. Uh-oh, he's struggling. Think.
No. This is what's going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen. I think Triple H is going to try to screw CM Punk.
No.
But in turn, it's going to backfire and screw John Cena. And CM Punk's going to win the title.
If you're right on this thing, I'm going to give you a belt for next week.
And I won't be here.
I'm going to give you the World Heavyweight Championship I have in my room. I'll give it to you to wear on the show.
But,
Get that right.
I did want to say, I texted them pretty much immediately after this happened on Raw. John Cena said some things last night, and I really honestly think he was taking a shot at us. And I know you're thinking, Doctor, really? There's all sorts of shows out there. We have a friend of ours, Gold Dizzy, who does a show. He does a show just like
Looks
us.
like you're just giving up.
Closing
No,
the
I'm just
books on
saying.
this.
Gold Dizzy does a show. I got to do my rant here, right?
Of course, you have to do the rant before we close the show. Make
Gold,
it quick.
Gold Dizzy, he does an awesome show. He always leaves us a nice comment. Check out his show. I'm going to give him a shout out right here.
Really?
Check out his
Really?
show. Come on, guys. So what we're doing here is this. I know for a fact that his show does this thing a little bit, and the WWE watches it because they've given him strikes before. And he puts up a show like we do, you know, every now. We put ours up every week. He does something similar. And what we're doing here is, you know, I know WWE people are watching these shows. I know they are to make sure that
Hi, James Laurinaitis.
John.
Whatever.
John Laurinaitis. To make sure to make sure that nobody is saying bad things about them. I would not be surprised if a scout or something said, "Hey, John, guess what these yahoos are saying about you?"
What are they saying?
What are they saying? And, he said, how he's a hack, how he's the 5 moves of dooms, how no one respects him. That's stuff we've said recently about him.
We've said that for years.
He's taking a shot at us.
Hi, John.
Hi, John, if you're watching, what's up?
So
I don't want to sound egotistical, but I know for a fact the WWE is watching shows like this to see what we think. I said it last week, too. I think recently a lot of the stuff we've been talking about has been coming up.
We've been getting stuff right recently, too.
Yeah, we've been getting stuff right recently, and I think, I think you gotta, at one point, you gotta put 1 and 1 together.
Yep.
So before we close the show here, something new we'd like to talk about. Something new.
I mentioned this to you, right?
Yeah. Okay. Big B mentioned to it. I think it's something we should do every week. I like it.
Okay.
It's called the Idiot of the Week.
Idiot of the Week. Now, I know we discussed sports and wrestling, but this particular idiot is not related to sports or wrestling. The Idiot of the Week, drumroll please, is Mr. Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Why is he Idiot of the Week, you ask? I'll tell you why. During a recent concert on Saturday, this past weekend, he was getting booed on stage, and mid-set, he interrupts and says, "I'll walk around here and y'all harass me like I'm effing Hitler." Really?
Really?
You're comparing yourself to Hitler.
Come on, Kanye.
Okay, I say Kanye's Idiot of the Week, but his past actions prove he might be in the Hall of Fame of idiots. Ruining Taylor Swift's acceptance speech at the award show. Beyonce won Best Videos of all time. It's your opinion. Keep it to yourself. This past thing, I think Kanye is a great artist. But I don't think he thinks before he says something.
He has no
So,
filter.
with that being said, before we close the show, congratulations, Kanye West. You are Triple Threat Talk's first Idiot of the Week. And on that note, this is Big B.
This is Postmaster Jones.
This is the doctor.
See ya. Thanks and for watching. Check us out on Facebook.com/TripleThreatTalk. Follow us on Twitter at TripThreatTalk and send us any comment or question you have at triplethreattalk@yahoo.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy SummerSlam. We here at Triple Threat Talk, we discuss a lot of topics and we talk about a lot of topics. And that's what we want you guys to do, is just talk about it.
That's right, Big B. Greg Grunberg, the former star of Heroes, started a great new website, talkaboutit.org. They're talking about all sorts of things, and their topic is epilepsy.
Postmaster Jones, myself, being a previous epileptic patient, it is definitely something that does need more awareness. A lot of people do not know about it. I suffered this ailment in my early teen years. It's kind of in dormancy right now, I guess you could say. I haven't had an attack in well over 10 years.
That's good. That's good.
But epilepsy is something that can come on you like that you wouldn't even know it. To kind of give you an idea of my first attack, I was sound asleep, and it woke me up out of my sleep, and it felt like somebody had the covers and was like constricting me, and I couldn't move, and I fell off the bed, and when I fell, like I knocked myself out, and I was sitting there in a daze. And I'll never forget, my mom came in. I can remember, like, it's weird how you know what's going on. And she said, "Jimmy, aren't you going to get dressed for school?" And I just was sitting there like with a blank stare. And she said, "Well, turn it on the Weather Channel. Let's see what the weather's going to be like." And being like I was always watching Sports Center every morning before school. And so I flipped it up one channel, flipped it back another channel, and flipped it back to where it was, put the remote down and said, "Mom, we don't have the Weather Channel," in the most serious response I could give her. And so she took me to the doctor. And the doctor, my family doctor at the time, told me that I had the flu. Sent me home with some pills and told me to stay off the rest of the week. Because it was actually the week before Christmas break. I was going to have 2 weeks off for Christmas break. So when I got home, when I suffered the first attack, I got violently sick. And so my mom, got me rested, was in the bathroom not even 2 minutes. And I was like, "Mom, it's doing it again." And she come around the corner, and the feeling, if you're going down the road, I don't know if you guys know this or experience this, if you're ever going down the road and you go off the road a little bit on the highway and you hear the road going yee-yee, yee, it's kind of the sound you hear. It's very weird. and all I can do, I can hear everything that's going on. I just can't say anything. And I mean, your eyes roll back in your head, and you're just shaking, and I could hear my mom crying and talking to the EMS. And when I finally come out of it, I mean, I just was a train wreck, and my father wasn't there, and all I kept hollering was, "I want my daddy, I want my daddy," you know. And I went through numerous of tests, you know, the tests that you're given, and was on medicine for 6 years. Unfortunately, with taking this medicine, I went from an honor roll student to a CD student because this medicine does have an effect on your brain. But yes, definitely, it does need more awareness. I'm glad I got to share this with you all. I always share this with anybody that wants to hear about it because it is something that isn't talked about as much as, you know, cancer or heart issue. And I think it does need to be definitely talked about more. And like Big B and the doctor said earlier,
Just talk about it.